everybody. Rachel here. Just thought we could make a fun card on a Friday because it's Friday. Why not? Let's make a card. I'm gonna wait just a couple more minutes, see if anybody else wants to join in while I put some stamps on my blocks. Happy Friday, that's right. Cheers. I'd say it's been a long week, but I'd be fibbing because today was the first day I worked since last Friday. So I thought we could make a really fun card using the Botanical Blooms stamp set. Hi from Pennsylvania and New York. It is raining here in Maryland. Terrific thunderstorm just rolled through, so it was crazy. Crazy, crazy weather. All right, let me get a couple of these together. Let's see. So I'm going to leave some of these out because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. And if you notice, I did cut out a couple of these Botanical Blooms flowers to use for masks. It is great stamping weather. That is so true. To use as masks, especially when it's disgusting out. So I keep these in here just in case I decide I want to cover something up. So I saw this idea on Pinterest and I thought it would make a really neat card. But there weren't really any measurements, so I kind of had to fiddle with it ahead of time. So bear with me, and I'm going to show you what I came up with, and then we will finish doing the rest of it together. So for this, I did see this idea. This was from a 2010 post, but the card was super cute, really, really pretty, and it actually used the typeset. That was the specialty paper that was like thin like a newspaper. So I didn't have any 12 by 12 except for a shout out. Who is that there? Oh, hey there, Rhonda. I didn't have any 12 by 12 paper, so I went with the Designer Series paper stack that I had. And this is Calypso Coral. So you kind of got to bear with me because I had to do this as I was going along. So what I did to start was I took my 12 by 12 piece and I cut it at 4 1/4. Make sure I'm in the field here. 4 1/4. And then, let's see. I'm gonna pull this piece off, and then we're gonna move over for a moment to the, oh goodness, I just forgot what this is called. Isn't that sad? It's Friday. It's been a long Friday. To the Simply Scored. There you go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I kind of tried to figure this out ahead of time of how I wanted to cut. So I had a base, and I'm going to show you what I came up with. I had a base that I wanted it to be in the middle 5 1/2. So I had to cheat because I was not feeling very mathy on this Friday here. So I wanted 5 1/2. So I figured if I went at 3 1/4 to 3 1/4 both directions, that would give me 5 1/2, and then I could split the difference. But the only thing is the way the paper is, some of them aren't always exactly 12 inches. So it's better if you learn the way I did, because there's some extra marks here, if you cut it and then flip it and cut it. So what we're going to do is we're going to score at 3 1/4 right here, and then we're going to turn it and score at 3 1/4 so it's even. Okay, and then we're going to score these in half. So this is 1 5/8. We're going to score at 1 5/8. So it's basically just half of this. And 1 5/8 here. Okay, so then what you're going to do is just fold in and out like an accordion. So if you have plain paper, this would certainly work with any 12 by 12 paper, and then you wouldn't have all these crazy designs if you chose. But again, I didn't have it, so you could use either side. So what I did was, so there's my piece, and here's the one I started working on. So then what I did was I just cut out a couple extra pieces. So the card is going to actually, it's very pretty. This one is a little bit big. So what I did is we're going to hook this piece onto the front, and then we're going to layer another piece for us to be able to stamp onto. So this will be our background. And then, where is my one other little piece I lost? Here it is. And then we're going to layer this one onto here. And then I have another piece of white, and these are all about 1/8 of an inch shorter because that was kind of gave you still enough room to stamp. So this will be here covering, and then we're also going to put a piece on the inside here. Okay, so I have Pool Party and Calypso Coral. Again, if you have the large 12 by 12 sheets, that would work just as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit of stamping here, and we're going to get out Pool Party. We'll do this background of Pool Party just to give this a little bit of interest. So, let me see here. Let me just get my act together here real quick. All right, so we'll do the veins and the leaves. We'll do those in Pool Party. So I'm going to do the large leaf. And let me grab a piece of scrap paper. So we'll do the large leaves here. Just, it doesn't have to be perfect. Oops, as you can see, should have my mat underneath. That way you get a little bit of you get better coverage when you use the mat if you're using a photopolymer stamp, because it kind of gives you more even place to stamp onto. And also giving yourself a second for the die to transfer over. And I'm not going to do a lot because you're not really going to see them, and that's really why I'm not going to worry about that one so much either. Just put one more here on the tip. Okay. And then I'm going to do the veins, and we'll do the veins in Cucumber Crush just to give a little bit different of a color. So same thing again. We're just going to fill these in here. That looks really pretty. That wasn't a combination I expected to look nice together. All right. Okay, so again, not a lot for the background piece because it's going to be covered up anyway. While we have the Cucumber Crush out though, I'm going to put a couple of leaves on here. We'll do that with the smaller. So what I'm going to do for this one, this is just the small piece, and watch because I'm stamping all over myself. I just stamped this off once so it'll be a little bit lighter. You don't have to do it for everyone if you want to change it up a little bit. You could even stamp double if you wanted to, so stamp and stamp off. Do this here. Just clean this off so I don't get it all over the card. All right, and now with this one, what we'll do is we'll go in with the Always Artichoke. Okay, and we'll fill in the veins on that. Okay, so enough of that. Let's get to the point of what we're doing with this card here. Let me grab a couple other colors. So we're going to use Watermelon Wonder for the big and Flirty Flamingo. So I'm going to just do a couple flowers, and while I'm at it, let me move this to the side. I'm going to also do my little teeny piece here just to give a little bit of interest. This doesn't have to be anything super perfect, but just give it a little bit of something for the sidebar there of the card. And we'll fill in some flowers here. This would be a great spot if you wanted to use your masking technique to cover up some of your flowers so you could have overlapping flowers. This would be a great spot to do it. All right, let's get rid of that. And now I'm going to come in with the Watermelon Wonder. Oh, what did I do with the center of that? 1, 2. Hold on. All right, we're going to go with this one. But let me put it on a smaller. So these are just the dots. You could use the dots. There's that little spiral piece you could use also if you wanted to. We're going to just hit it with the dots. And not quite showing up as dark as I thought it would be on the thought Watermelon Wonder would be a little bit darker, but it kind of gives a nice subtle color. And then the other thing you could do is just stamp some of your little dots around if you wanted to, just to fill in some space. Okay, and let's see, what else do we need? How about a couple little Lost Lagoons, just to bring a little bit of blue in there. That'll be pretty. I'm going to just stamp this little crazy swirly thing, just randomly. Okay, and one more thing. I'm going to do, let me just close a couple of these so I don't make a gigantic mess. The other great thing about this too, you could do even a little bit of color on color stamping on this just to bring that out. It would make it really pretty. So if you wanted to stamp anything on there, it would be nice. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp some words. And instead of using black, no, I am going to use black. I was going to use Smoky Slate, but we'll do black instead. So what I'm going to do is let's just see if we have a little cute word here. Just a note. That's cute. Let's do that one. We can have some little lines we'll put down there as well. This is from the new set Better Together. This has 2 inside and outsides. Really nice because all the little sayings go together. Plus a lot of them you can intermingle between the 2 of them, so they're really cute as well. And let's see. I'm going to put, nope, that's not going to fit. I'm going to put this one here, and we're going to put some lines in black. And where is my middle piece? I'm going to put this right here. So the lines are going to go here. So make sure they're straight. Okay. And then we're going to use our Just a Note. Right here. Okay, so a little bit smudgy, but that's okay. No big deal. We'll work around it. All right, so let me show you how this goes together so you can see it in all of its glory. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some SNAIL Adhesive. Put that on there. Oh, I think I picked the wrong one, didn't I? Hold on, let me trim this down a smidge. Of course. All right. Just a note. Center, off center that a little bit. And then this one, when we're gluing it, we're only going to adhere it to here, okay? So I'm going to just put this to the side, right on here. Again, some people might think this is too busy. If it is, you can certainly swap it out for a plain paper in the background, which would be great. Put this one on here. Put this one on here. What else did we have in that set there? Could even put a little star over here. Little flower I think would work a little better. Okay, and then what we're going to do with that is we will use our Aqua Painter, and how about a little pool party? We're going to just fill in this flower here. So to get that little puddle there, you just squeeze together, you dip in there, and you just bring the color onto your flower. Right. Now this is not watercolor paper, so you do want to be a little bit gentle with your coloring so you don't have a huge puddle there. If you used either the thick white cardstock or the watercolor paper, it definitely will work out a little better. Just dry that off real quick. color-wise. All right, and then what we'll add to this is just a teeny bit of Wink of Stella, just to make it a little sparkly. I'm going to go over the whole thing. And then this. It almost made it like a bleed out look, which is, it's really very pretty. And then just a little bit of the Wink over here. The other thing that would be great with this, I just don't want to kill 8,000 hours with cutting stuff out. Let me put this on the inside. Is if you did some die cutting of your flowers, and then you pop some of your flowers up on the outside here. You could pop some of your flowers up on the inside. So this leaves plenty of room for your sentiment, or if you want to add some other flowers to it. But it has this really cool fold. So let me just reinforce these because I didn't do this when I made it. Let's see. And just give me one more second. Let's see there. And this is going to stand up really, really nicely on its own. So it's kind of like a nice gift at the same time, because you have a little thing that stands up by itself. You could put your sentiment inside. You could use a little bit of your liquid glue, let it dry, and it'll become tacky. You could hook a gift card in there. You could use totally different colors of paper, but it does give a lot of visual interest. And the great thing about this card is it really gives you the option to use both sides of your designer series paper, which everybody apparently always hates covering up one of the sides. So you could switch it out. Another thing you could do too, if you wanted to, is you could make this a little bit smaller here, and you could put something so it held it just like that. You could glue them together and make a complete stand-up card that the inside was closed, so it'd be flat. And then you could make it so your card stood up like this by adhering these two together. So there's a lot of different options that you could do for this. But I think the best part about this is the color combination. This would even make a great card just as it is if you just went like this and you had just your little open card. If you didn't want to have the extra part of it, you could do a little bit of popping up, I think, with the flowers. The Botanical Blooms die cuts would make it a really, really pretty card as well. So thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't yet, make sure you get to the blog, which is rachthestamper.wordpress.com. There is a blog hop going on right now. All you have to do is leave a comment and the # or hashtag, depending on how old you are, with Team Stamp It, and you'll be entered into the contest to win a really great prize. There's also a lot of specials going on right now with Stampin' Up. If you spend $50, you get $5 to use in August, which is pretty cool. A lot of new stuff going to be coming out soon. A lot of very funny with the old jokes. A lot of really neat specials coming out, and there's a really cool set that's going to be coming out soon. It is the Branches bundle that'll be coming out in August, so keep your eyes out for that. There's a lot of new fun things going on. So if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube. You can find me at Rach the Stamper. You can find me on Pinterest at Rach the Stamper, and again, you can find my blog rachthestamper.wordpress.com. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for taking time to watch. I hope you have some nice weather wherever you are. The sun finally came out here, so I think the storm is probably heading up to Pennsylvania and to New York for you ladies that were watching up there. So good luck with the weather. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.